ongoing activities and historical presentations. Go to sfhistory.org and discover the San Francisco Historical Society, giving our history a great future. Become a member today.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco. An Odyssey station.
Good morning, area.
It's time to wake up. It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game. Come
on! All they do is win, no matter what. 9 straight. You get a 9er in there? Yeah. Your San Francisco Giants, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, have won 9 in a row. Second longest active winning streak in Major League Baseball. First belongs to the Cincinnati Reds. Kind of some similarities that we'll discuss about those two teams, by the way, as this pregame show rolls on. 888-957-9570. That's the number. If you would like to get involved in this program, we got an hour. I am your host, Joe Spadoni, and we will be discussing the magic that is currently taking place at Oracle Park. 9 straight for the orange and black attack against the San Diego Padres. The team that everyone wants to, press up as the next best thing since sliced bread. The San Diego Padres. Oh, man. You just look at Tatis, you look at Machado, you look at all those names, Bogarts. Oh, my goodness. Seth Lugo. Oh, my goodness. He was dealing for a little bit there. Hader. That guy was an all-star. They got names everywhere. It's not about the names. It's about the play on the field. And for this season so far on June 21st, Giants have just been the better team than the San Diego Padres. They're now 9 games over 500. Padres fall to 3 under 500, 35-38, compared to 41-32 of your San Francisco Giants. Another walk-off, another Dwayne Kuiper call. Give it to me, Dwayne.
And this one is over. It's over! It's over! It's over! Well, they found another way. The Giants now have won 9 straight.
NBC Sports Bay Area there again. Dwayne Kuiper with the call. Did you hear that? Was that a fan saying that? It just kept yelling, it's over? Or was that one of the players? Let me hear that one more time.
And this one is over. It's over! It's over! It's over!
I don't know who it was, but that's great. It's over. It's over. Is there more? And listen, I love Dwayne Kuiper. He's one of the greatest of all time. That call he had last night, check that 2 nights ago now, the Yaz 3-run walk-off homer, one of the greatest in his arsenal, and he's been around. He's been doing it for a long, long time. But there may not be a more boring walk-off call than the walk-off walk. Like, just compare that call with what took place 2 nights ago.
High drive! Right field! It is out of here! And we are going home!
Now, there's a lot of factors there. Home run, clearly more sexy than the walk. Dwayne Kuiper, it was his birthday, so he was feeling it extra. And they had a huge comeback in that game. This was huge a little bit, too. Down 3-1, right? Do a little bit of a rally. Crawford. And you got Jock doing this.
He's trying to tie it up. High drive. Right field. And he did.
Mike Krukow trying to tie it up here. You know what he did, Mike?
He nutted that thing.
Certainly did. Jock Peterson taking over for Yaz, who was the player of the game 2 nights ago. It was Jock last night as the Giants get the dub. 9 straight. 888-957-9570. Are you starting to believe in this team? Giants fans, are you starting? And I don't mean believe that they can make the playoffs. I'm starting to believe, can they make a run? Is this team for real? Because it's starting to feel like that. The rookies, they're getting it done. Tristan Beck, my goodness. 3 innings of relief, 2 Ks, 1 hit, 1 walk. He's been a revelation this year. 3.05 ERA on the season. D. Sclafani, you know what? It was gutsy. 8 hits, 3 runs allowed, 6 Ks. Yeah, there's a homer in there. Soto's doing his thing. Soto's just killing this Giant squad. And by the way, Soto, you need to get out into left field when everyone else is out there. It was hilarious listening to the broadcast. Kipe was not pleased. Is this the big leagues? Is that what he said? Yeah, Juan Soto couldn't find his glove or something. Took him forever to get out of left field. Cap was not happy about that. But you know who Cap is happy with? The guy I just mentioned, Tristan Beck, and why he believes he's just as good and deserves every bit of credit that the Schmitz and Baileys are getting. Here's a skipper after the game.
So we've talked a lot about Casey. Casey's got a lot of shine. So is Pat, for really good reason. Luis is now here and especially shiny. You know, he's fun to talk about, doing some cool things on the baseball field. Tristan's been every bit as good as those guys and hasn't got nearly the amount of attention. Now, it's normal, right? He's coming in relief in games and maybe pitching in down 1 or down 2 games, but giving us a lot of length. If you look up on the scoreboard, he's got tons of innings. He's got a low ERA. He's got a high strikeout rate. He's got a low walk rate. It's the makings of a good major league pitcher and deserves a lot of credit for where we are right now.
Deserves a lot of credit for where they are right now. And that's the bullpen. You know what? For all the early struggles that this bullpen had, and they were bad, and this team was just bad, let's be honest. For what, 1.7 games under 500, he thought like, man, well, we're not going to pay attention to the Giants after the Warriors season's over. No, sir. We're just going to be all Warriors offseason. It's still a little bit. I mean, still been talking Warriors offseason during this now 9-game winning streak, and we got the NBA draft tomorrow. We'll discuss that a little bit later in the show. But right now, it's all about the orange and black attack, the youth movement, whatever you want to call them. Magic is happening again for the Giants. Happened 2 years ago. We know how it ended. But something feels different about this squad, doesn't it? I mean, 2 years ago, you could just see there's a lot of like 1-year contracts, a lot of older guys. The young people weren't really in place. So you didn't really see the future after that season. Now, you're seeing the present and you're seeing the future. You're seeing Schmidt. You're seeing Matos. You're seeing Estrada. You're seeing Lamont Wade, who may go on the IL. He got moved from the game. He is injured. He's going to get an MRI. Wait to see what the results are on that, Lamont Wade Jr. And Ryan Walker will get the start in a bullpen game today. All that announced yesterday by Gabe Kapler, your manager. But you're starting to see the big picture here. And it's really, I shouldn't say rare, but it's a treat for fans when all this starts happening at one time. You start seeing the past can get faded out. You saw that last year. You saw that 2 years ago. Buster Posey retiring. And then how quickly the future is on the plate for the team. How quickly you get to see these guys develop and become something special. And I shouldn't say quickly, because last year was a slog. It felt like nails on a chalkboard. It felt like it was a slow death. Up until September, when the team decided to start winning again, when it was already too late. They finished the season at 500, and that's what they were, an average team. And after a tumultuous offseason of getting fans' hopes up, only for them to get the Mitch Hanigers and Michael Confortos when they wanted the Aaron Judges and Carlos Correas, it was a tough sell, especially not being able to see any of these young guys contribute last season. So it was crucial that this team got off to a good start. It felt like that, right? We all talked about that before the season. This team needs to get off to a good start or they're not going to make the playoffs. Hell, can they even make the playoffs? We just want them to compete. We want to see some young guys, in this system finally get a shot. We keep hearing about them, Farhan. Where are they at? You're on the hot seat if we don't see any of these young guys. Well, now, that hot seat, what would we put it at? Lukewarm? Not even hot, right? Because of all of these acquisitions now contributing. All of these young guys in the system contributing. And here's Tristan Beck. 3 innings last night in relief. 3.05 ERA. Rookie. Talking about the bullpen's early struggles this season. And now their current success.
I think, a lot of guys just kind of turned the corner after kind of an uncomfortable start to the year. We came out of Mexico City, and that was, a lot of outside factors there. Some guys didn't maybe have the success they wanted, but we came out of that and just kind of pulled together as a group, and said, hey, we're capable. Hey, we've got all the pieces we need to have success, and, we just need to take ownership of it. And so I think a lot of guys really took it personally, and, we've kind of seen what we've been able to do these last few weeks.
Good morning to all of you on the Twitch and YouTube chats. We are up and streaming. Be sure to search 95.7 The Game, like, subscribe there. If you would like to stream us all day, Morning Roast, Steiny Goo, Willer Dibbs, and yours truly, the pregame show with Joe Spadoni. Be sure to also download that Odyssey app, favorite 95.7 The Game. You could be locked into all of our podcasts, Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys. They're crushing it. Sam Lubman and Joe Shasky, they cover the Giants better than anyone else here in the Bay Area. We also have every single podcast episode up there. We have a rewind feature. If you missed something earlier in the show, you can go back, forward. The Odyssey app, it's pretty freaking sweet, so download it. And also, the old-fashioned way, 888-957-9570. Get involved in the show. The Comcast Business text line is always open for business. Same number, call or text, 888-957-9570. Did the Giants win, my family, who is talking on the YouTube chat? And that's the person's name, my family, when you hear me say that. Mi familia. You're damn right they won.
And this one is over. Well, they found another way. The Giants now have won 9 straight.
Again, Dwayne Kuiper talked about it yesterday. If there's guys you want narrating your life, he's in my top 5. There's nothing worse than a walk-off walk call in baseball. It's hard to get the enthusiasm there, but you're winning 9 straight. I think he did a hell of a job, as good as you can. Maybe the walk-off balk or the walk-off sac fly. The balk, I think, is a little more feisty because you at least get some anger usually from the pitcher. It's just like, oh my God, what just happened? So there's a little more extra animation there usually. The walk is just like, okay. Now it was 3-2. It's Josh Hader, former All-Star. Jock Peterson, who already had a solo home run, tying the game up. So there's some extra drama there, if you will. But miss me with the walk-off walks. It's probably on number 4 of all the, maybe 5. Home run, single, right? Or just a base hit, if that's what you want to do. Then I'd go sac fly. Then I'd go balk. Then I'd go walk. That's what it is. Good morning, Luis Roberson. Good morning, Loco Moco. We up early with Spadoni. Damn right. Brandon Cadiz, something special is happening in San Francisco. Feels like it. Are we starting to believe now? Lloyd Smith, good morning. Loving the Giant swagger, now in orange sherbet uniform. It is an orange sherbet. I love me an orange sherbet, by the way. Sherbet in general, underrated. Thank you, Sam. Keep leaving my phone in there because I'm locked in, grinding, getting all those cuts in this morning. But thank you, Sam Lummett, again, producer extraordinaire and host of Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys. He's locked in on the Giants. He's loving it. And it feels like the hair gets a little redder every time with the Giants winning. Just get a little more hint of orange in there. Actually be kind of crazy if that happened. Gets a little darker as he gets older, though, Sam Lubin. Getting more grizzled as the years go by. But he's fired up. And why shouldn't you be? Why shouldn't you be fired up? It's okay to start believing in this team. Now, look, I'm one of those fans. I'm very guarded. I'm always going to say, I'll believe it when I see it. We'll see it in the playoffs. There'll always be those fans. Let's push the goalpost out farther. I get it. Because I fan like that. I refuse to get my hopes up because I've been hurt so many damn times. But you know what, Giants fans? You won 3 freaking World Series in the last decade. So stop. Well, now it's been almost 13 years. Oh, my goodness. Time flies. So you can get your hopes up. Because you've seen success and you've seen magic happen at that ballpark multiple times. And this feels like it, doesn't it? 9 straight. And it's not old guys. It's not one and done deals. It's not just, a puzzle that was pieced together at the last minute. No. These guys have grinded through the system. Farhan is wheeled and dealed, gotten the young players. So much so that I think we've done a complete 180 on how we feel about him. If I were to tell you heading into this season that Farhan Zaidi would be, let's see, top 5 in Executive of the Year voting, you'd probably laugh in my face. After getting the Mitch Hanigers and Confortos, well, those guys better be batting 300. Well, Mitch Haniger, he's out for months, and Conforto's batting 235. It's not that. It's the Tyro Estradas. Again, it's the Dovals. It's the Matoses. It's the Baileys. And Patrick Bailey, that play he had, who was it? I forget who the batter was, but he whiffed at a bunt. He struck out, and then Bailey threw out Ha-Sung Kim at third base. That's just instinct that you cannot teach. That's something you just have. It's innate in your DNA. And Patrick Bailey has that. He's not Buster Posey, and hell, no one's ever going to be Buster Posey again for this team. Guy's a Hall of Famer. We get all that. But you just look at his defensive makeup, and you get shades of it. It feels like it. You feel the confidence behind the plate, which we haven't seen since Buster. I know it's only a year removed. But that left a big hole in this team. Let's not get it twisted. Last year, check that, 2 years ago, Buster was coming off one of his best seasons. And then he just retired. And it was just like, okay, what are we going to do? Oh, we got Joey Bart. Is he ready? Well, he better be. And he wasn't. And he might just be getting traded come the trade deadline. But you got Bailey. And he feels like, I know it's early. It's June 21st, but you know what? Damn it. It's almost July. Sooner or later, you got to start believing in these guys, and I do. 888-957-9570. Good morning to all of you. Brandon Cadiz, Schmidt, Matos, not to be confused with Matt Latos. Not Luis Matos, Matos. Try to get my Spanish, try to be correct in my Spanish because I took Spanish class 4th grade all the way through junior year of high school. The pronunciations, I know what they are, and I strive to be better every single day. So, Matos walks, Bailey's single. Look what happens when you play the young guys. It's true. It's true. You got to let them fail. Brett Boone was on with the Morning Roast the other week. You got to let the young guys fail before you succeed. Nikola Jokic just won Finals MVP. Has 2 regular season MVPs. Should have been 3. He talked about it after the finals. Failure is always a part of success later on. You need to fail. And there was a lot of failure happening on early in this season. And you know what? You're seeing the Schmitz and Matos struggle a little bit still. But Kapler and this staff believes in them. Farhan and this staff believes in them. And that's a big deal, especially in baseball where guys get set back down all the time to work on swings, to work on chase rates, to work on seeing the ball better, to give them a break, a breather. And sometimes they never get that call back up. So it's important for them to stay up and continue to gain confidence. And I credit Gabe Kapler and the staff. You know, Gabe specifically, I don't think has gotten enough credit. I think we're giving a lot to Farhan, and deservedly so. I mean, he's the architect of this entire thing. But Kapler, he's been the punching bag, right? It's not Farhan. It's, you know what, Gabe, this guy, you know, we need to move off from him. He just doesn't have the pulse of the team. That's what we were talking about last year, right? He just doesn't get this squad. That was the same thing in Philadelphia with the Phillies. He doesn't fit this city, this culture. He doesn't get our baseball town. And they moved on from him. He seems to fit in here as far as his personality goes, his, you know, love of culture. He's a very cultured individual, very smart, very astute, learned man, prides himself in that, very calculated and thoughtful in his responses, which I think is a very San Francisco mindset.
It was a consideration.
It was a consideration. Thanks, coach. Speaking of that, Sam Lubman was telling me when he goes in and asks Gabe Kapler a question, he looks like into your soul when you're asking it, and he says it's very intimidating. And I was looking when I was cutting sound as he was looking. It was via NBC Sports Bay Area, so they have the live feed, right? So you can look when he's looking at Alex Pavlovich, and he's just staring at him it was like a 30 or 40 second question, and he's just staring at him, like barely blinking. I was like, oh my God. I can see it secondhand, Sam, exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, it was the video that JD, John Dickinson, student reporter, boots on the ground, posted the other night when he asked Gabe Kapler about, like, the Giants and their home record. Like, Kapler's giving him that answer and just, again, like, stared right at JD, and you could see into his eyes. It's just that same look. It's just, like, it's intimidating. It's a little weird. It's just, yeah, the eyes just go right at you, though.
It is. They're piercing. They got the piercing blue eyes. They're beautiful. He's a very handsome man, and it can be intimidating. But you know what? Sam Loveman, John Dickinson, Alex Pavlovich, our 95.7 The Game Giants insider. You know what? These guys are pros. They're not going to get phased by those pearly blues. All right? That private pile, 1,000-yard stare. Shout out Full Metal Jacket. Good morning to Cowboy on the YouTube chat. Oh, we're not getting back into Draymond vacationing with LeBron. Does not help with Warriors team chemistry. Although the matching bucket hats were very cute. I love that part of it. Oh my God. Warriors off season's undefeated. We could probably do a whole hour on Draymond vacation with LeBron in France. We're not going to, but my God. What's going to happen there? I truly don't know at this point if Draymond is going to come back. If we talk about that for the next minute, I have no idea. I mean, if I'm a betting man, I think he comes back to the Warriors, but every single time I see a picture with him and LeBron, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, maybe he could be a Laker. Look good in that purple and gold. I know that. 888-957-9570 is the number. Good morning to the Comcast Business text line. All of y'all chiming in. 415, Kapler telling the team, quote, Barry Bonds and Mad Bum ain't walking through that door. It's true. But you know what? They don't want Mad Bum. They don't need Barry Bonds right now. Not when every single person is contributing. And I think it's a nice juxtaposition about both these squads that are playing in the series. The Giants and the Padres. A lot of names, a lot of star power, and a lot of individual success for this Padres squad, right? A lot of individual agendas at times. The Tatises, the Machados, the Sotos. That's a lot of egos to manage. You know what, Bob Melvin? He's feeling it right now. He was brought in to be the guy that gets this superstar team over the hump. A lot of success, quote unquote, in Oakland. But you know what? For as much as we give Bob Melvin his flowers for the Oakland Athletics, and I know the A's are down right now, and I know he's a revered figure for some because he stayed for the past decade. He stayed through multiple rebuilds, and he got these teams back up to prominence. What did the guy ever actually win? Seriously. Division titles, okay. Never once got out of the ALDS. Not once. I understand he ran into Verlander in multiple Game 5s. That happens. He's an all-time player. He just has ownage on that team and on that franchise. And you also ran into multiple wildcard games where you thought Liam Hendricks as an opener in the Bronx was a good idea. Wasn't. Now that Billy Beane is that Bob Melvin. But as far as preparation for the team goes, that 2014 AL wildcard, not having Jeff Samardzija available, leaving in John Lester a little too long. I'm just saying, for the Padres, I know Bob Melvin was supposed to be the guy. I know it's early. It's June 21st. They made the NLCS last year. You're going to say, Spadoni, what are you talking about? His first year. Great. How'd that work out? He got shelled against the Phillies. There's massive, massive expectations on the San Diego Padres squad. And sooner or later, it's not going to be the players they're turning on. It's going to be that manager. It's going to be Bob Melvin. Deserved or not, the guy hasn't won at that level. So they're going to start putting a microscope on his resume. And part of his resume is he's never really won anything. 888-957-9570. Giants, 9 straight. They defeat the Padres in another walk-off last night, 4-3. They're 9 games over 500. Padres 3 games under. We'll continue to take your calls and texts as it pertains to that. Also, another former manager of the Orange and Black got a little heated yesterday after a loss. I'll explain on the other side. It's a pregame show with Joe Spadoni. Don't go anywhere, folks. More Giants talk right here on 95.7 The Game.
Staples has everything you need to help run your small business. Shipping supplies and services to help move orders out the door. Print and marketing services so you can print signs, banners, and presentations fast. And now during Staples Small Business Deal Days, you save 50% when you buy any combination of 5 or more boxes, mailers, and shipping tubes. Plus, find new deals for small business in-store every week. Keep your business running right and safe at Staples. Offer valid in-store, online order pickup, and Instacart. Exclusions apply. Not valid in Concord, New Hampshire location. Prices may vary. N7.
95.7 The Game.
I think that's what we're going to do. Green onions. Every Giants win. First rejoin. Doesn't get better than that. Doesn't get better than a walk-off win, although it's a walk-off walk. You don't care it as a fan. You don't. You just want a sexier call after you had the Yas 3-run walk-off homer, and then it's like, and he walks. Game over. Who cares? It's 9 straight. That's all you're thinking about if you're a Giants fan at 888-957-9570. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the pregame show. I am your host, Joe Spadoni. And we've been discussing magic? That's what it feels like. Something special's happening. But when you use the word magic, usually there's a fluke in there, right? You think of, that 2010 squad, torture. It was just like, the island of misfits. You think of 2 years ago, that 100-win season. You think of all the one-year deals, the veterans, if you will. This year, it's magic, but also this is legit. This is sustainable. It's young guys. You're going up against a division rival, division foe, with all the individual star power one team could have. Hundreds of millions of dollars invested in each one of these guys. And you got Jock Peterson out there, one of your highest paid guys. He's only making $20 million off a year. That's it. You got Crawford coming through clutch again. And he's starting to get after it a little bit more after having an ugly start to the season. Brandon Crawford. Good for him. He was getting crushed. And you never like to see the old wave, kind of crumble. He's solid belt. He's just not a shell of himself now at this point. He's even still on the Toronto Blue Jays. My God, having a putrid year. Posey, he went out on top, but Crawford, it looked like he was going to go out ugly too, but he's been finding it as of late. Gloves still a little bit. You're seeing it there, though. A lot of plays you're used to Crawford making, just routine every single day. And it's just, a step late sometimes. And that's what happens. You see it in basketball, they're a step late, they get blocked. See it in baseball, they're a step late. It's a base hit instead of a out. That's what happens. Here's Jock Peterson, who had the game-winning walk and the game-tying solo shot in the 8th, talking after the game with Laura Britton, the NBC Sports Bay Area crew, on never being able to count out this squad. Take a listen.
You can never count us out. I think that's what great teams are made of. He backs up against the wall. We faced some good pitchers over the past couple of weeks that have dominated us through 5 innings, and we're behind in the game, but we find a way to claw back, and then our bullpen's doing a great job holding them there, and it's been fun to be a part of. We got 26 guys pulling on the same string, and it's a pretty powerful thing.
It's a pretty powerful thing. And the mantra I was using yesterday morning was strength in numbers. They were adopting the Warriors one. I saw Mark Willard also said that. It was posted on Twitter. I said it first, Mark, in your face. But no, that's what it is. And it's just such an interesting storyline when you juxtapose it with what San Diego's trying to do. They're trying to be the Yankees of the West. We'll buy everyone. And we'll make it work. We'll go get Bob Melvin, who's an established guy, who's won multiple division titles with an Oakland team that, didn't have as much talent as this current squad does. But there's something to be said for those Oakland squads and for this Giants squad, right? Young guys contributing. That's what made those Oakland teams so successful. It's because in each different iteration, you had the next young wave. You had Donaldson, right? You had Olsen. You had Chapman. You had Simeon, Bassett. You had all these guys. And you're seeing it now with the Giants. And it's not just the hitting. Gabe Kapler talked yesterday about Tristan Beck, 3 innings of relief yesterday, having a 3.04 ERA, being just as good as the Schmidt, as the Bailey. He's been every bit as good. So when you have that coupled with the confidence and savviness of Farhan Zaidi, who says he's going to be aggressive at the deadline, making the playoffs is the goal. And now that you're 9 games over 500, you better make the playoffs. It's June 21st, baby. We're almost in July. I'm believing this team. Are you? 888-957-9570. Continue to take your calls and text on the Comcast Business text line on that. Good morning to all of you on YouTube and Twitch. Dante Wiley, Gigantes. Damn right. They're balling, man. They're balling. 650, odd year magic? Stop. It's only even year, remember? Also, that was 9 years ago, so let's stop. But now, is it a reset with 2021 now? Now we're doing the odd year magic? I don't want that magic, though, because that magic ended up in a 5-game loss to the hated Dodgers. So we don't want that. I think this is magic, but also coupled with legitimacy. It's a legitimate magic. Does that make sense? Maybe that's an oxymoron. I don't know. But you're starting to see the labor and love that Farhan was treating with this farm system finally pay off. That's what he was brought in to do. It wasn't to get the big names. And hell, I don't even know if he still can land those big names, whatever. I don't even know if he can land those guys still in free agency, but I know he could develop. And if he trades for someone, can he lock them up? That still remains to be seen. That feels like the missing piece to the puzzle of his presidency of basketball operations, if you will. That's the final piece. Can he start landing some of these big guys, these big names at the trade deadline? We shall see. He's going to have the opportunity, whether it's a Lucas Giolito, a Shane Bieber. That remains to be seen. I wanted to get to this sound real quick before we hit the break, and Joe Shasky's going to join me for the Cross-Joe next segment. He's fired up. He's decked out in all of his Giants gear, and why shouldn't you be? Giants fans, we want to hear from you all day right here on 95.7 The Game, 888-957-9570. But the Rangers and White Sox were in a little bit of a controversy yesterday. Rangers, they're balling. They're 45-28. My God, Texas is just... Bruce Bochy has them boys hitting. Tremendous season for them thus far. And that's without DeGrom. He's getting... Evaldi is looking like a Cy Young. Gray has been killing it. Simeon had like a 25-game hitting streak at one point. Seager looks like the old Dodgers Seager. Jonah Heim, another former A. He's been crushing it. Well, I guess up until last night, Jonah Heim was crushing it, though. Take a listen. This via NBC Sports Chicago, as the White Sox thought they may have been out of the inning, but a challenge from them, Jonah Heim covering the plate. They thought, you know what, maybe on Elvis Andrus getting thrown out at the plate, maybe Jonah Heim was covering it. Well, we'll just challenge it anyways, just in case. We're down in this game. It's 6-5. We're heading out of the inning. We need this. It's going to the 9th. Maybe we'll get lucky. And boy, did they.
Oh, it's a violation by Jonah Heim for being in the line of the slide by Elvis Andrus. So he was out at the plate, but the catcher being in the way creates a run.
And here comes Bruce Bochy. Now, he's hot, and he gets out there as quickly as he can. And he just got rung. He got thrown out of the game. Well, I have no idea why that was a violation.
I don't either, upon further review, but it was. The game was tied, and then the Rangers end up losing to the White Sox by a final score of 7-6. And that was the game. Tied it up, and Bochy was furious, and rightfully so. But it is kind of ironic, shout out Alanis Morissette, that the rule that came into place because of Buster Posey and Scott Cousins, hard to believe that was 12 years ago, by the way, May 25th, 2011. when Scott Cousins blasted Buster Posey, broken leg, we get all that. Rule change, can't block the plate. The rest is history. And Bruce Bochy was a big proponent of that. Bochy being a catcher himself, he gets it, wanted to protect his star player. We get all that. No place for that in the game. You think of going all the way back to Pete Rose in the All-Star game, Ray Fosse. Ray Fosse was never the same. Separated shoulder, all of that. R.I.P. Ray Fosse. But it's just a little bit ironic that ended up costing him. And it wasn't even the correct call because Heim clearly wasn't even blocking the play. Hell, you heard from the NBC Sports Chicago crew. They're like, I don't even know what they were looking at there. But here's the skipper himself, Bruce Bochy, after the game. Oh, we miss him. We're going to see him in August, by the way, here at Oracle Park. He's going to get a huge standing ovation, rightfully so. Here's Boch talking about that overturned call after the game.
You know, those guys, I mean, they're not making a call. I get that. I just want to get clarification on exactly what was called. I couldn't hear, and for that call to be made, I'm dumbfounded. It's absolutely one of the worst calls I've ever seen, and it was done by replay. I just don't get it. I don't care how many times they'll try to explain it. You can't do that in that situation. It's a shame. It's embarrassing, really.
It's a shame. It's embarrassing, really. I love Bochy's voice. I miss that man. It is funny, the juxtaposition of Gabe Kapler. It was a consideration. And it's Bochy's like, yeah. I can't do the Willard impression. I'm not even going to try to. My voice can't go that low. But man, I miss that man sometimes. I do. And good for him and good for the Texas Rangers. They are crushing it, although last night they take the L. We got one more segment for you. We got Joe Shasky, the crossover. We're going to be talking Giants. Is the Magic legitimate? Is it a legitimate Magic? 888-957-9570. The team has won 9 in a row. Can they keep it up? Is this sustainable? We'll discuss on the other side with Joe Shasky, the crossover, right here on 95.7 The Game.
Okay, next time you're at the store, I dare you to not think about the unmistakable fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring. Yeah, you heard me. I want you to resist picturing a shower filled with those sensational Irish Spring suds. And if you succeed, well, you got what my gramps used to call resolutitude. Not a real word, but let's be honest, you're probably going to end up leaving with Irish Spring because of its irresistible.
Oh, man. Vibes are great. 9-game winning streak.
It's not my jock?
It's not my jock. No sirree. Bach. There you go. It was a walk. Wow, look at that. We're on fire this morning on the pregame show as Joe Shasky joins me for the crossover. Man, Jock Peterson, it's starting to feel, it really is, and I said this yesterday.
Is it magic inside?
It's a legitimate magic is what I was calling it this morning. Maybe
Really?
that's an oxymoron because there's, what do you mean, magic is like supernatural, like how can it be legitimate? But this one is because when you use the term magic, it has a supernatural feel to it, like this shouldn't be happening, but it should be. The young guys are contributing, Joe. Like, you think about 2 years ago, and it was, a lot of one and dones. It was like, this mix and match. Buster Posey, Brandon Crawford, these guys are long in the tooth. Okay, maybe this is a one-off. And it sure felt like that last season after they struggled and they were only 500. But now, it really is a strength in numbers. You got the young guys. You got the Tristan Becks. You got the Ryan Walker, who's going to be pitching today. You got Jock Peterson stepping up. You got the Yaz a couple nights ago. It really is all hands on deck, and it's refreshing to see because they're going up against a team that has just star power, has individuals, but a lot of individual agendas. This really does feel like a team, and I really wanted to this morning give Gabe Kapler a lot of credit because I know when they're losing, it's Gabe's fault. When they're winning, it's Farhan. Look at what he's doing. Let's give Cap some credit during this winning streak, can we?
Well, multiple nights in a row, the opportunity presented himself, and he went with the matchup and took out Brandon Crawford, and that guy didn't bat an eye. After hitting a clutch base hit up the middle in the at-bat prior. So, to me, the buy-in across the board from a veteran, a champion, the all-time greatest shortstop defensively in Giants history. To me, like, those little things really matter. Is he Merlin?
Is he Dumbledore? Is he Snape?
I can't name but one.
Oh, no. I thought you were a big Harry Potter head. No. Is that Madsen only?
I was going Sword in the Stone.
Sword in the Stone. That classic. Disney Plus. Get after it. We watched that one. Actually, Benny was low-key into that. It's like one of the old animations too, from the 60s. Along with Robin Hood. He liked that one as well.
Robin Hood.
With the Fox.
Fox.
Maid Marian.
Absolutely.
Totally.
But you know what? There's a variety of things that are going down simultaneously right now. Number one, DeSclafani, not horrible.
Hey, that was
great.
gutsy. Don't come out to the Paisan, all right? That was gutsy performance. 8 hits. He scrambled. He was grinding.
I mean,
that's a quality. Well, it's not 6 innings. It was almost a quality start.
Lefties are hitting him pretty hard right now.
He's getting shelled.
And when runners are in scoring position, if you look at the batting average against, he's not able to withstand. Guys get on base and he kind of wilts.
Yeah. Me and Sam Lubman, producer extraordinaire and host of Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys with you. You guys are doing a hell of a job with that podcast, by the way. But we were talking about it. He actually gives me Sean Manaea Oakland A's vibes.
Why?
Where early on if he's going to have it or not.
Interesting.
He gets shelled easily.
Yes.
Like you could have like a no-hitter type stuff, but then he'll have this inning where it's just bomb, double.
Yes.
Like, and it just gets away from him so quickly. And Sean Manaea, why he's not a starter anymore is because he can never find that consistency again.
Yes.
But the problem with DeSclafani is you paid him all this money to be a starter, and right now he's acting like he's a 5 or like a long relief guy when you paid him to be a 3.
When you go 5, and I think yesterday was 5 1/3 or 5 2/3.
Yeah.
When you go 5 and give up 3, like, it's not that bad. No. Like, I expect more.
No, well, he's getting paid, and you should expect more.
Exactly.
Yes.
That is, to me, that's 4th, 5th starter, opener, quality, start. Not quality start. I'm talking about it's equivalent to going with the 4th, 5th start. I paid you to be at 2 or a 3.
Yes.
And you haven't even come close to that.
And he's been like a 5 or again, like a long bullpen.
Now, I'll give him this. He's gone at least 4 pretty much every single start. But again, when guys get on base, for a veteran, it just feels like he wilts.
No, totally.
The first sign of adversity. And what's frustrating for me is that they signed him to an extension that I just don't know who were they competing with for 3 years of DeSclafani.
That's a good point. And I felt like that one hurt too because you could have had Gosman. I know they weren't going to pay Gosman all that money.
Gosman's been all right.
Gosman's pretty good with Toronto. That's the thing. Like, that one was kind of a head scratcher to me.
And that splitter fits really well in our ballpark and in our division.
Yes,
you know,
and not in the
ground
AL
ball
East. I'll tell
pitcher.
you that. It does not fit in the AL East at times when
No.
it gets away from him. But definitely in this ballpark against these squads. And listen, it's just, I was mentioning it earlier, the youth movement and Tristan Beck coming in relief. Like, we were talking about DeSclafani, but the story of last night for me was Tristan Beck, man.
Yeah. 3
3 innings there, lowers his ERA to 3.04, and Gabe Kapler was talking after the game. Let's start giving these pitchers some credit, too. We're giving all the love to the batters, but Tristan Beck, man, he deserves some flowers.
Well, and they're playing sharp defense late in games. Guys are buying in on substitutions. You know, Austin Slater getting a pinch hit, draws a walk, a lot of little things. And their plate discipline is just been fantastic. And it's rubbed off on Casey Schmidt. He's drawn now 2 walks in back-to-back games. He obviously gets the pinch hit late in the game, 9th inning against Hader, for Brandon Crawford, who had just had a base hit for a single. You know, Bo Mel getting a lot of criticism as the Padre manager.
Mm-hmm.
Why your eyebrows go up?
I'm not surprised.
What do you
I mean,
mean?
this is legit expectations for this squad this season. They got, the big contract with Bogarts. They've got Soto. They've got Tatis now back with this lineup. And they're 3 games under 500, and it's almost July. Are you kidding me?
Well,
this is supposed to be. Well, I know it's early, Joe,
yeah.
but we saw this time and time again. And I know we love Bob Melvin here in Oakland. He was a Cal guy, Bay Area guy. We love him. Very nice guy. Nothing but nice. He was always kind to this station when he came on. And I think we're trying to get him on. Very nice man. But what does he want? What is he? I'm sorry.
Can
but
I double down on this?
No, you absolutely can.
Because you know who's one of his bench coaches, or I guess third base coaches?
Whomst.
Matt Williams. And I love Matt Williams as a player. He's a loser as a manager. He made some horrific decisions, specifically when he was with the Nationals. God bless him. Baseball lifer. I believe he's from San Diego, too.
Yeah. I think he's down from
Marine guy.
SoCal.
They used to call him the Marine.
Yeah.
You're talking about 2 guys that have monumental late season failures on their resume.
2014 is all I think about with Bob Melvin, and it all culminated in that wild card game. And I know we're going down memory lane here, but not having Jeff Samardzija active for that game when you just need to win that game to move on. Not pulling John Lester when he's clearly struggling against a team that's running against him and he doesn't even care. There's just so many different individual things that he gets wrong, and you were always juxtaposing that with what Bruce Bochy was doing right across the bay. He always seemed to have the pulse on the team. He seemed to know what to do, and it just feels in late game situations, Bo Mel gets tight, and you're seeing it and you're seeing with Gabe Kapler. What happened in that 2021 season with Gabe Kapler? It felt like every single thing he did was liquid hot gold.
Yeah,
every liquid hot magma.
Yeah.
Everything, single thing. He had the Midas touch, and you're starting to see that during this 9-game winning streak. And we were alluding to the pinch hitting. 9-game winning. 9, Joe.
It's kind of crazy.
It's a legitimate magic is what I'm calling it. Maybe that doesn't sound good, but that's what it is.
We've talked so much about the Warriors the last couple of weeks. When was the last time the Warriors won 9 in a row?
Boy.
The Niners, I believe, won 9 in a row.
Well, to win 9 in a row in the NBA, you have to do it on the road, and the Warriors can't do that. Sorry.
No, but this feels like one of those magical moments for Giants fans where you're falling back in love with a lot of guys that were older, and then you're obviously getting introduced to a bunch of the youngsters. And it just feels like the complete tide has turned on the team and in the organization. Optimism is completely flipped. And look, the reality is that, if everybody's feeling great about Farhan and we're all excited and everything, and I am too. I'm really pumped. And I'm not trying to be the pump the brakes guy. Believe me, I am not trying to be that guy. But the big picture now for this team isn't just this season. It's about sustainability for these young players. That's what I'm looking for. So, Schmidt comes up. He's raking. The league adjusts to him. What's his adjustment to the league adjusting? And you're seeing, hey, I need to be a little more discerning at the plate. 2 walks in the 2 pinch hits in back-to-back nights. All right, but can you still be that same aggressive hitter with a sprinkling in of some of that plate discipline? That's what I'm looking for. Patrick Bailey, he had a play last night at the plate where it was like, dog, that's not a force play. That's a swipe tag play. Yeah. Why are you giving that up? Little tiny things. And I love he's a really good defensive player. But every now and then he has a brain fart of being young. Yeah. So, there's just little things that now you need to iron out for sustainability. And that's when I know that, hey, we're really turning the corner with these young guys.
Absolutely. And Patrick Bailey, I thought he had a hell of a play last night. I forget who the batter was, but he swung and missed at a bunt attempt. And then he threw out Ha-Sung Kim, and Ha-Sung Kim, what the hell are you doing there?
Another caught stealing.
Another caught stealing. That's just... something you can't teach, and you just never saw it from Joey Bart, right? Like, you just never saw that defensive instinct that you're seeing with Patrick Bailey. That's Joe Shasky. He's coming up next. Bonta Hill,
God,
Morning
I'm so
Roast.
excited.
Giants, 9-game winning streak. We want to hear from Twitch, YouTube. Shout out Amelia Bedelia. Is that a fictional character? She thinks I'm cute, by the way, Joe. There you go. I got to take all the compliments I can get from fictional characters. I know who that actually is, by the way. Amelia Bedelia. Fake news, by the way. I will take that, Joe Shasky, and I will take the Morning Roast on the other side. 95.7 The Game.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM at HD1 San Francisco.